think we'll be down there in a day or two. Yeah, I know. It's been a while. Thanks, Noel.
Welcome to eveRIAthing, and as you can see, we are somewhere new today. We are at New Image College, and today I'm with an awesome and very talented actor who is also involved with behind-the-scenes work, Dakota Daulby. Hi, Dakota. How are you?
How's it going?
I'm good.
Everything you said is true. This is true.
Yeah? Woohoo. So, Dakota, I know that one of your first movie roles was in a film called Why Does God Hate Me?
Oh, she's done her research.
I have done my research, did my studying.
It's Google. It's Google for you.
Google,
right? You can look up anything nowadays.
Exactly. And this was also at the New York Film Festival, was it?
Yeah, we featured there, which is pretty cool.
Awesome. Very prestigious.
Little film from Vancouver, which is kind of cool, right? Yeah,
the little underdog.
I know.
So what factors do you think played a huge part in you getting that role?
Oh, that's a good question. Factors that played in. Well, I think it's always got to do with the chemistry you have with the filmmaker himself, right? So the filmmaker, his name was Joel Ashton McCarthy, and we're still pretty good friends to this day, which is kind of cool. And Joel, he's a very talented filmmaker. This was his first project, and he's coming out of Capilano University. And you know, you have to have that chemistry. And right off the bat, we connected, which is the huge part, right? And we and there's a rare thing where you have a character that's kind of written for you, right? And when you read him and you kind of understand him instantly, and I really did understand this young boy and the struggles he was going through. So I feel like that was a huge part of it, because you really connect with the material, then you also connect with the filmmaker. And you know, that's basically Dakota too, right? That's what you have to do.
It's like me when I watch TV shows or movies and someone's really awkward, I feel such a strong connection.
Yeah, you get really awkward and you start like hiding your face. Yeah, I've had that before, yeah.
So, of course, I know lots of people that we've had on the show they have to balance their school and their career, and I know that that's what you had to do. So, how did you manage to keep everything in order?
Well, luckily the school I go to is very helpful and very supportive of me continuing my career, because it is an acting school amongst other things they do. It's called New Image College, and you know they teach actors. So for me to act while I'm still in school is something they want me to do. So it was awesome, and you know all the teachers are super supportive because they're all actors themselves and actresses, and they know the industry. So to have their support, it was really nice, and they kind of helped me along the way. And you know, it's one thing to book a role, but it's also another thing to carry a role through. So it was very cool to have a very supportive school, and one that was kind of into the same industry that I'm into, right?
Yeah, there you go. It all works.
It works out, yeah, it works out.
And were there ever any challenges when there was ever, like, for example, like a day you had an audition, you also had to do, like, let's say a test or something specific in school? Or?
Oh yeah, there were many times where, well, more in high school actually than college, but high school, oh yeah, because I went to an academic school. I didn't go to a school that cared about acting whatsoever, so I got many dirty looks for leaving school to go on auditions. But you know, it's my passion, and it still is my passion. So, and I'm happy I followed that, because it's been going pretty well, and you know, it's something I hope to continue. But in college, not so much, because you know, like I said, all the teachers they do the same thing. They know how it works, right? With auditions, it's always spur of the moment. You never have ample time to prepare, so they kind of got it. But there's always a few times where there's that awkward conversation where kind of gotta leave to go to this audition. I'll see you later.
I have some friends who are also in acting, and I did some extra stuff here and there. And I know that they can be really like last minute and on call all the time. So what do you think are the biggest challenges about being an actor?
Early call times. I honestly have a fear every time I book something, is like I'm gonna sleep in. I set like 4 alarm clocks because I'm terrible. I'm such a heavy sleeper, so it's such a fear. I get so scared the night before. So early call times is one of them. Getting lost on the way there is always a fear. I think the biggest challenge is being true and being honest as an actor, right? Because it's a very it's a hard thing to do because you're on camera and people forget that there's 50 people, 100 people on the outside of camera, just on the outside of the lens, right? And it's hard because you're doing like an emotional scene or an angry scene or a connecting scene, and there's all these people watching. Like just, well, not even watching, just sitting there and like picking at their shoe or texting on their phone, because it's a job. At the end of the day, it's a job, and it's a job for me and it's a job for everybody else, right? So, you know, it's a big challenge. I think that's a big challenge for actors that are first starting out, is kind of get used to that, right? And to
focus.
Yeah, and to know how to kind of narrow your focus down and to forget about everything else. I think if you're in a project and you can have 1 or maybe 2 or 3 moments where you're truthfully honest and you feel truly like you forget everything else that's going on, I think that's a very successful project, because it's hard, right? It's hard to do that as an actor and as a human being as well.
Deep words by Dakota.
Deep words.
Deep words. Now, aside from challenges, were there any big sacrifices that you had to make going into acting? Like, what were they?
Oh, there's always sacrifices, but there's always sacrifices with everything you do, whether it's acting or if you want to be a doctor, right? There's always sacrifices, but I think there's sacrifices with everything you do.
Exactly. That's true, and it's good that you love what you're doing and that you can make a living out of doing what you love. I think
the sacrifices are not like they hurt. They're definitely hard, and they definitely hurt. But they're not so bad because you're happy to wake up and go to work every day, which I am.
Yeah.
So that makes it a little bit easier.
Pros and cons.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus on set, you guys always have those like really nice like buffet tables. And
yeah, and there's lots of food.
That's why I go for extras, because food. Hello. And so, who would you say are your strongest supporters in your career?
Oh, my family, for sure. My mom and dad, my grandpa, and my whole team, right? You know, you have an actor, and an actor, once they start becoming successful, an actor becomes a business, an entity in a way, right? And in order to keep that entity going, that business working, you have to build a strong team around you.
Yeah.
And you know, I've been getting to do that with everybody my age and my publicists. Everyone are extremely supportive of me, right? And you find people that you can relate to and you can talk to, and it's not just on a professional level, but as an inner level as a human being, right?
That's a very important part of people's lives, especially if, like, you know, all you young people out there, if you're going to go into something, the entertainment industry, if your family's really supportive, then you can pretty much do anything. Yeah, it comes down to support, because it's difficult, right? It's a very difficult industry to get into, and it's one that is kind of riddled with judgment and all that, and it's hard being a young person, being a young girl, being a young guy. It's difficult with that, right? But I think if you have a strong support team, like your family and your friends, my friends are extremely supportive. And interesting enough, most of my friends have nothing to do with acting, are not actors. My best friend, he's studying to be a scientist, so which is kind of cool, and I'm happy I have that, because you know, it gives us something else to talk about, right? I'm always going to talk about what I do. I'm happy to kind of step out of the industry for a while and to kind of take a break and kind of get away from all that. Exactly. And, you know, speaking of competition, I know that, you know, as a singer, entertainment industry can be very, very competitive. Extremely. What do you think are not what do you think are the biggest challenges, but have you ever faced, like, you know, rejection or like every day? Yeah, how did you overcome that? I don't know if you overcome it. I think you just get used to it. I don't know if you ever overcome it. It's just you learn that it's not usually about you as a person. You know, most of the time when you don't book something, it's got nothing to do with you. It's got to do with all these other factors. And which is something I'm learning about, because I'm kind of stepping on the other side of the lens too, and I'm trying to write and direct and produce, and with that, you kind of, it's painful, because you learn that all these people that are coming in to audition for your stuff, and they're doing beautiful work, and it's terrible because you got to turn half of them away for stupid reasons, right? Because they don't look the same, or they look too much like the lead, or the girls are taller than the guy, and it doesn't work, right? It's just stupid reasons, right? And it's got nothing to do with your acting. And I think the faster you can realize that as a young artist, you'll get better to it, right? And you'll understand more, and you won't take so much to heart. Right? Because when I was younger, I took everything to heart, right? Everything, you get rejected, and it affects you personally, as it should, right? But as you get more experience and you kind of figure that out in your head, and each person will figure that out, you kind of learn it's not really about you. It's about the industry. It's about the business side. Because it is a business at the end of the day. That's true. Very smart. It's the entertainment business. Yeah, exactly. That's why it's an industry, right? Yes, it is. And I know that you were in the Canadian thriller Blackfly. Blackfly, yes. Can you tell us a little bit more about your experience with Blackfly, and maybe like some of the greatest things that you learned from it? Blackfly was an experience and a half, that's for sure. It's written and directed by Jason Bork, who's also a good friend of mine now.
and it was an experience, you know. And actually, you know, I got a funny story for just like kind of a little lesson.
Yeah.
I'd originally, I read the script and I loved the script, and they originally cast the main character, the one I ended up playing already when I first read the script. So I was going in for a smaller part, and you know, I was kind of bummed out because I really loved the main character.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you know what? I'll go anyways, right? Because it's important for people to see you, right?
Yeah,
each audition you do is a chance for someone to notice you and to see you. So I went and I did it, and Jason enjoyed it and he liked it. And a week later, I got called back for the lead. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And they were just looking for a backup just in case this kid couldn't do it. So I went in and he loved it. Then, you know, a day later, I got the call. I booked it. And a week later, I'm on set, right? And that's all because I was willing to take the first audition, just because knowing that, you know, each time I audition is a time for someone to see me and to be seen, right? And I think that's a lesson a lot of young actors need to learn. It's not always about the leads, right? It's not always about being the first on the call sheet. It's about, you know, going in there and producing good work, and from that, people will see you and you'll get other opportunities from
For sure, yeah. It's not always about, you know, winning the best thing, but like experience and growing from it, And
then like them shooting Black Fly was incredible, you know. I got to work with Matthew McCall, who's in a film coming out with George Clooney called Tomorrowland, which is exciting. And he's a great actor, and we played brothers in the film.
There you go.
Christy Burke, who's on a new show called Strange Empire, worked on Falling Skies with me as well. And you know, that was incredible because it was the first time I really got to sit down with my fellow actors and really kind of like develop our stuff and really work it together, right? It was so cool. We would work 14 hours a day on set, and then we'd spend another 5 afterwards preparing for the next day, which is something you have to do. You know, you got to go prepared, right? You always got to be prepared for the next day. And a lot of people think it's, you know, show up and it's easy to have your lines memorized. No, but you gotta really put the work in, right?
And deliver,
and the effort, and it will show through the screen when it comes out. And it did.
Totally.
Because the film was fabulous. We showed at the Vancouver Film Festival. We were sold out every time we showed, which is awesome.
That's awesome. And again, there's like lots of sci-fi and thriller things. What would you say is the genre of film that interests you the most?
Well, actually, I really enjoy sci-fi. You know, I got to do sci-fi in last year in a TV show called Falling Skies, which is produced by Spielberg, which is kind of cool to be involved with something with his name in, right?
Yeah.
And that was cool. It's my first introduction to first TV, but then again, sci-fi as well, right? So I kind of, it was a new thing for both of those. And on that kind of level, it was kind of cool to be a part of that. I remember being at my first read-through for the show, Falling Skies. I think it was my first actual episode of that season. And you're sitting at the table, and you got Noah Wiley across the table from you, who's in like ER and just been everything ever since. And you have Doug Jones, who is like the lead in Pan's Labyrinth, a Hellboy.
You have all these amazing actors in front
all these incredible actors, and Will Patton, all these actors I've seen growing up and I've watched my whole life, and like I'm sitting in the room with them. Incredible. And it was so surreal, right? Yeah. Because every actor will attest to this. When you book something, you go online, IMDb, and you look up all the actors you're going to work with, and you see their bios and what they've been in. But they're just pictures and words at that time, right? You don't really know them as people. And it was so cool for me to meet these fabulous actors and get to know them as the people they actually are, not just the characters they play on screen. So that was an experience of a lifetime. And I got to play a villain, too. Oh! It was the first villain I've ever played. And it was
I feel like that
cool.
would be fun.
Oh, it was a blast. The villain's the best, you know?
The villain's the best.
Oh, yeah, they are. All these heroes and all the good guys, they have to follow the rules, right? There's these rules you have to follow. You can't do this, you can't do that. Villains, you can do anything you want.
Villains are just like, nah.
You can do whatever you want. You can break the rules, you can do whatever you want. People expect it from you because you're a villain, right? Yeah. You want it to be bad.
And you can get away with doing whatever you want because you're a villain.
Yeah.
There you go.
So it's just like, it's so freeing and it's so much fun.
Yeah. So now, instead of being the villain, let's make you the hero for a second. Yep. And do you have any tips out there for any young aspiring actors?
you know, it's acting. It's not just all about your skill, and well, it is about your natural skill, but there's a lot of technique that goes into that as well, right? And I think a school, finding a good school that works for you and people that you can surround yourself well, that are supportive and really help you develop your skills is something extremely important. I know I found my school, and I've been eternally thankful for them because I booked all this stuff. I did another film called Sitting on the Edge of Marlene, which also played at the Vancouver Film Festival at the same time. And it's won a Leo and all that, and with Anna Valene, who's the writer-director. And I booked all that while I was in school, you know, and that's because of the teachers and all the support they showed me. And I think that's important for people to find that in their own lives, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And give back too, you know, it's important to give back. You know, when somebody is given success, I think it's their job to kind of return that to other people and to help other people achieve their dreams and their form of success.
Yeah, that's good.
So
good
do,
to stay.
So do that and eat your vegetables.
Yeah, eat your vegetables, eat your greens, your broccoli, your carrots. Brussels sprouts?
Yeah, no, not Brussels sprouts.
No, yeah, they're a bit questionable.
Those are no good. I don't like those.
So where can we find you online, like social media and stuff?
Oh, where can you find me? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those. I'm 20, so I have every social media you can imagine.
What's your name on social media?
It's just my name, actually. It's just Dakota Daulby. I kept it simple, nothing crazy.
Simple and effective.
Exactly, and I have a website too if you want to check that out. It's dakotaDaulby.com. And, you know, simple.
There we go.
There we go.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Dakota Daulby, but don't move. Keep watching. We'll be right back here on eveRIAthing.
Well, that was cool. I like that. What was that?
Thank you. It's my wafoo.
Oh, that was nice.
Can we wafoo together? We're collecting wafoo. That's a wafoo.
A wafoo?
A wafoo. You just, it's like a salute, but you like swing it up like a sweep.
Nice. I like it. That's my new sign up.
Okay, ready? Well, look at this, Cameron, wafoo.
Okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yay!
Cool.
Are you ready for this? This is for you. Hey everybody, so if you saw our recent episode, you probably recognize the ever so lovely Natalie, who is actually with admissions here at New Image College. And if you were just watching, then you can see just how amazing everything is here, including their acting, to behind the scenes work, to the prosthetics and makeup. And Natalie, what do you think are the greatest things that someone can benefit from by going to a acting school?
I think it's really important in this day and age to have work experience and feel comfortable in the environments of being on set or on stage, and really be involved as well in the whole production as a whole.
What do you think are the favorite subjects of the students and why?
I know that there is a lot of students that absolutely love the makeup department. It's really where they get their hands dirty, they can get creative. Really, there's no boundaries in what they can do. And also understanding the trends that are coming in and out, you know, within the fashion industry as well, where the designers grasp their inspirations from for a 1920s theme, and all these different types of things is really fun.
Totally. And I know that I saw you at Fan Halloween, and I know that New Image is also involved in other events like Teen Fest. And what do you think inspires you guys the most to be so involved with these community events?
We just want to support the communities. We want to let people know that we're there. We had fun as well. And it just gives communities really a creative outlet with knowing that we are here, knowing that we're in Vancouver.
Wonderful. Another thing with advice, we just interviewed Dakota, who of course was involved with balancing school and his career. So what would you advise any students out there who are trying to pursue acting but are also dealing with school at the same time?
I would say it's always a balance. Everything's about balance. So I think it's really important to be focused, okay? Set yourself weekly goals, set yourself even daily goals, just to make sure that you know you're achieving things and you feel as though you're progressing.
Totally. And what do you think are the top 3 things that someone should have in order to be a successful actor?
To be a successful actor, I think it's important to be able to adapt, things are constantly changing, and I think that being able to adapt with each situation is very important. Self-motivation, of course, and passion for the industry is super important. You need to have faith in yourself, and you just need to keep pushing. And then the third thing would be, I think it's important for you to have work experience too, for you to get on the sets, for you to understand the environment, understand each crew position, so that you can be a better actor. And you can understand what everyone's wanting to achieve as a group, to the full potential.
Thank you. Once again, guys, I'm here with Natalie, and we are reporting on location here at New Image College. Stay tuned and keep watching. We'll be right back here on eveRIAthing.
Feeling broken, barely holding on, but there's just something so strong somewhere inside me, and I am down, but I'll get up again. Don't count me out just yet. I've been brought down to my knees, and I've been pushed. We're past the point of breaking, but I can't take it. I'll be back on my feet. This is far from over. You haven't seen the last of me. They can say that I won't stay around, but I'm gonna stand my ground. You're not gonna stop me. You don't know me, you don't know who I am. Don't count me out so fast. I've been brought down to my knees, and I've been pushed. We're past the point of breaking, but I can't take it. I'll be back on my feet. This is far from over. You haven't seen the last of me. There will be no fade out. This is not the end. I'm down now, but I'm standing tall again. Times are hard, but I was built tough. I'm gonna show you all what I'm made of. I've been brought down to my knees, and I've been pushed. We're past the point of breaking, but I can't take it. I've been back on my feet. This is far from over. I'm far from over. You haven't seen the last of me. No, I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying right here. Oh no, you won't see me begging. I'm not taking my bow. Can't stop me. It's not the end. You haven't seen the last of me. Haven't seen the last of me. Ooh.
Are you ready for this? This is for you.
starting right now. This is your TEDx's event. Please welcome your MCs. Come on, stand up. This is your show. You're a part of it too.
Look at me. Now look around. I probably don't look too different from anyone else in this room, but looks can be deceiving. I have epilepsy, a neurological disorder that causes a person to have seizures. Over 65 million people worldwide also have epilepsy.
But a key part about the Under the Radar app is that 20 cents on every 99-cent download goes to Free the Children, to support Free the Children's efforts to build schools and educate children all over the world.
Group 2. All group 2. Okay, so let's put your hand up real quick. I got Madison McCullough, Jerry Leader, and Allison Augusta up here. And the category is Young Actor in a Feature Film or Movie for Television with less than 5 lines. It's a good thing it's 5, not 6 or 7. Spencer Drever for Happy Face Killer. Reese Vaughn, The Unauthorized Saved by the Bell Story. And Eric Gibson for The Unauthorized